The Queen of Snow. We would especially like to thank Anna, Basma, Mizur, Pompadour, Blessing, Na, and Katarina for asking for today's story. Sir once was a malevolent sprite. Some claim that the devil took great pleasure in transforming something positive into something repulsive. He created a mirror with a horrible power one day. It portrayed everything that was pure as monstrous and everything that was lovely as repulsive. The world will now realize how ridiculous beauty really is. Mountains resembled soot blobs. Flowers even turned into dark decaying weeds. In order to make fun of the angels themselves, his pupils, other naughty tiny sprites, soon took the mirror through the skies. However, the mirror started to shake in their hands as they soared higher. Fools, keep it steady. It broke into innumerable fragments as it slipped and fell through the air. Some of the pieces blew all over the world and they were no more bigger than sand grains. Someone's perspective of the world was altered when a little splinter got into their eye. All kindness seemed silly, and all beauty seemed ugly. A person's heart would become cold and unfeeling if a piece penetrated it and froze into ice. It will shower pandemonium forever from now on. The world, however, had different ideas. Two kids lived next door to each other in a tiny town. Kay was the boy's name, and Gra was the girl's. They loved each other as though they were brothers and sisters, even though they weren't. The gutters of their families' homes were so close to one another. Beneath the eaves of each house was a small wooden box filled with soil for roses and herbs. The kids had built a bridge of flowers between the two windows by connecting their boxes across a small lane. They would read stories and listen to the bees hum while sitting among the roses each summer. However, something peculiar occurred one winter when the snow flew through the air like feathers. Sitting near the window, Gerta and Kay observed the snowflakes falling. Every snowflake resembles a tiny white bee. Bees, however, reside in hives. Where are snow bees found? High in the sky, in the palace of the Snow Queen. She is in charge of them all. Just then, a jagged piece of the evil mirror flew on the wind and became stuck in Kay's eye. He felt another splinter pierce his heart directly. He pushed Gra away as she hurried to assist him. Give up fussing. You cry for nothing all the time. Everything changed after that. Kay no more longer thought the roses were lovely. He referred to them as ugly. He saw nothing but cold and the emptiness when the snow fell instead of its wonder. He started spending his days with older lads that winter, making fun of those who continued to believe in fairy tales. He was pulling his sled to the square one chilly evening when a big white sleigh came to a stop next to him. The driver gave him a smile. Her eyes were like glass that had frozen. Would you like to ride with me? Kay gave a fearless nod. He fastened his small sled to the rear of hers, and as she drove away, he was dragged along at an ever-increasing speed until the wind roared in his ears. The sleigh abruptly pivoted to face the sky. Kay screamed, but the driver embraced him. Even though her kiss was as icy as ice, he was no more longer hurt by it, because his heart was already cold. Together, they disappeared into the northern sky. Gra waited for Kay when spring arrived and the snow thawed, but he never showed up. He must have perished in the water, the locals muttered. Gerta sobbed fiercely, but she couldn't accept his disappearance. She put on her shoes, prayed a little, and got into a little boat one morning to find him. She was gently carried by the river through woodlands and meadows until she arrived at a cottage covered in thousands of flowers, including climbing roses, daisies, and tulips. An elderly woman with a hat adorned with floral designs stood in the doorway. With a sympathetic grin, she assisted Gerta in getting off the boat. You're very poor, my dear. Be safe and stay with me. The world's most exquisite garden will be yours. Yes, it's like a dream. For a while, Gora forgot her worries. The garden seemed a dream. Summer never ends. No more storms or snow. Oddly enough, though, there were no more roses. She saw a rose painted on the woman's hat one day as she was sitting on a bench. The sight was like lightning to her. After looking all over the garden, she eventually saw one growing behind a hedge. She recalled everything as she kissed it. Ka, her quest, and the roses they had tended. How could he have forgotten him? The roses murmured softly. He is still alive. He passed in the direction of the north. After thanking them, Gerta hurried back to her boat. Child, let us stay. The cold will overwhelm you. Gerta's heart was too strong to be charmed any longer, even though the elderly woman called after her. She continued sailing, following the chilly wind. Gerta traveled through meadows and the woodlands before arriving at a magnificent white stone palace. She was addressed by a crow perched on the gate. "Greetings, little child. Why do you wander by yourself? I'm trying to find Kay, my pal. Did you see him? Maybe Ceres a young prince inside who resembles your friend exactly. Come on, I'll show you." The crow guided her through the palace kitchens and the corridors that evening, leading them to the prince and the princess's magnificent bedroom. Gerta moved closer, her heart pounding. Kay! However, she quickly realized that it was not Kay when the prince awoke and turned to face her. His eyes were warm and compassionate. Gerda sobbed, but after hearing her tale, the princess woke up and consoled her. Gerda received food for the journey, a golden carriage, and the warm clothing from the prince and the princess. After expressing gratitude to them, Gerda proceeded northward in the direction of the region of ice. Robbers in the shadowy woodland could see Gerda's golden vehicle from a distance because of its brilliant light. "Gold, treasure," they sighed as they leapt out of the trees, laughing and yelling. The robbers grabbed Gerda and pulled her inside there. Then before she could scream, the bandit boss was seated inside. "What have you given me? A ragged princess. Give her to me. I'll play with her." The bandits agreed and chuckled. Despite her wildness, the girl was not harsh. She told Gerda about Kay and the Snow Queen while sharing her meal with him. "I'm trying to find Kay, my pal. They were taken by the Snow Queen." "Then you're a moron. However, I like you. The others we've nabbed are not like you. Get up. This is not what he should be doing." The girl took Gerda to the barn where the pigeons and the reindeer were housed that evening while the bandits snored. This one is familiar with the route to the Snow Queen's palace in the north. Warm brown-eyed, she untied a great northern reindeer. "But keep it. I'm hoping you won't require it. Go now. Remember me." Gerda was carried toward the far north, where the aurora danced across the sky and the stars blazed gold, by the reindeer as they sprang through the snow. The reindeer ran across snow-covered fields and the frozen lakes for days and nights. They only made one halty rest at an elderly Lapland woman's hut, where she provided them with warmth and food. Gerda filled her in on everything. The woman scrawled a note on dried fish while nodding. "Show this to the woman from Finland. She'll know what to do." They continued their journey till they came to Yellowstone and the ice cabin. From the roof, smoke rose. The Finnish woman read the note while sitting near her fireplace. "The Snow Queen's palace is nearby, but it is farther away than even the strongest wind can carry you. Can you use magic to help her overthrow the queen?" "No more. However, she already possesses greater power than any spell." Laugh for another and the apuri heart. The Snow Queen's power can only be melted in this way. Keep this in mind when you arrive at the palace. Laugh is more powerful than fear and warmer than ice. Gerda received no more presents from the woman, merely a blessing. She was carried by the reindeer across the last several miles of sparkling snow till they were at their limit. "You have to go by yourself now." With her hands joined in prayer, Gerda bid him farewell with a kiss before entering the dazzling white. Snowflakes were arranged like glass to form the Snow Queen's palace. Every hall was large, deserted, and as silent as the moon. Like flaming ribbons, the northern lights flowed over the ceiling. Kay was sitting in the middle, motionless and pale on a mirror-like frozen lake. The Snow Queen had promised to grant him freedom and the entire globe if he could create the world eternal out of chunks of ice that were strewn all over the floor. She then let him finish the assignment. However, the word would not appear. He sat still, arranging pieces in odd ways. He had blue lips. He has a chilly heart. Then Gerda emerged faltering in the breeze. Gerda started crying. The shard of mirror in his heart melted as one of her warm tears went deep into his chest. He shuddered. The ice shard in his eyes vanished like a grain of sand when she kissed him. "You came for me, Gerda." The sound of love's victory reverberated throughout the Snow Queen's palace. The mirror-like lake melted into light, the frozen patterns disintegrated, and the ice fractured. The kids strode out into the sunlight hand in hand. The reindeer awaited their return. Once more, they passed through the same regions. The Lapland woman's fire, the Finland woman's heart, and the woodlands that once again blossomed with green. Everything was just as it had been when they arrived in their town. The same windows, the rose boxes, the gutters. The blossoming flowers whispered softly in the summer breeze. Gerda and Kay took a seat together, holding hands. Their hearts were still pure and innocent, but they were a little more mature now. The bells rang clearly and brightly when the old church clock struck 12. Yes, the earth was full of snow and thorns, but it was also full of roses, as it had always been. They realized then that even the coldest heart might be melted by pure love, which is brave and innocent.